2.5 years after October 7, we are looking at what we call the domino effect. In October 8, Hassan Nasrallah, the leader of Hezbollah, orders the Hezbollah to start gradually attack the northern part of Israel. He's poking Israel. He's not really using its full might. Hezbollah is the most powerful proxy in the axis of resistance. Hundreds of thousands of missiles and rockets and militants, yet the Hezbollah in October 8 is starting to poke Israel. And Hezbollah turns to the Lebanese and says, هذا حرب الإسناد. This is the war of support. I'm supporting the Palestinian. In other words, I'm not fully joining in, I'm supporting the Palestinian. And so we see a gradual process of exchange of slaps between Israel and the Hezbollah. And now we are entering to 2024. Now there is a war in Gaza Strip. In parallel to that, Israel and the Hezbollah are exchanging slaps, and it's deteriorating more and more. Israel is taking more and more assets of the Hezbollah. The problem of the Hezbollah was that it didn't understand that Israel is not playing the game. The Hezbollah was under the impression that Israel is playing take for tack, the exchange of slaps. That was not Israel's plan. And so in the summer of 24, the Hezbollah starts to realize that Israel is taking out many of its most strategic assets. And then you got the famous episode of the beepers that you probably remember, and the elimination of the whole leadership of the Hezbollah, including its leader, Hassan Nasrallah. In November 2024, the Lebanese government signed a ceasefire agreement with Israel, and the Lebanese government commit to disarm Hezbollah. 2.5 weeks after that, towards the end of December, Assad rule in Syria is falling down. Now let's get this picture and understand it. In 2011, Syrian people are uprising against the brutal rule of Assad regime. From 2011 until 2024, there has been a brutal war in Syria. Assad regime was a cornerstone in this whole structure of the axis of resistance. Assad rule was a major strategic partner of the Mullah regime. So when the war starts, the Mullah regime sends powers to Syria to help Assad to stay in power. And the most significant force that the Mullah regime is sending to Syria to save Assad is no other than the Hezbollah. The Hezbollah sent its military power and people to fight in Syria, and indeed, it is because of the Hezbollah that Assad regime could stay in power. The Hezbollah lost in the war in Syria more than 2,000 of its militants. 10,000 of Hezbollah militants were wounded in this war. But they kept Assad regime in power, together with Russia and the Iranians. So around 2018, across the board, it was clear that it seems like that Iran and Assad and Hezbollah and Russia were able to crush the rebellion of the Syrian people. And the rebels basically were cornered in the northwest part of Syria under a Turkish umbrella. That was the situation between 2018 until the end of 2024. In the end of 2024, 2 weeks after the signing of the ceasefire agreement with Lebanon, after the Hezbollah was defeated, Assad regime is falling down. Assad fled to Russia. The major reason it fell down was because the Syrian rebels that were cornered in the northwest part of Syria, massively supported by Turkey and Qatar, they identify a window of opportunity. That was their biggest opportunity because they knew that Hezbollah is defeated. It cannot come to the help of Assad. They are launching a very well-calculated offensive, double offensive, that was massively backed by Turkey. And within 2 weeks, the story of Assad rule in Syria comes to an end. That is another milestone in the story of the domino effect, because now, following the war, there is something very significant. Israel is taking out all of the significant military assets of Syria. Navy, planes, anti-aerial defense systems, everything that is significant in the next couple of months between the end of 24 and the summer of 25, Israel is systematically taking out all of those systems. There is a reason for that. Because Israel is preparing to the first war with Iran. And it happens in June 2025. The 12 days war with Iran. What it has to do with Israeli actions in Syria, what happened was that by taking out those assets of the Syrian army, basically Israel has been paving an air corridor leading straight to Iran, and through this aerial corridor, Israel was basically able to take over the Iranian skies in June 2025. That has been the domino effect of October 7, and that was the final milestone before the current one, the second Iran war.